These four nuts are better for muscle growth than eggs after 60 for as long as most of us can remember. Eggs have been praised as the perfect food for strength. One boiled egg in the morning, maybe two, sometimes scrambled, sometimes poached. It has always felt like a smart choice, especially for older adults trying to hold on to muscle. I still meet people who proudly tell me, "Doctor, I eat my eggs every day." I thought that was enough, but here's the truth that surprises many. Eggs are good, yes, but after 60, they are no longer enough to protect your muscles. In fact, relying only on eggs may leave you weaker than you realize. You might feel it in small ways. Getting out of a chair feels slower. Climbing a flight of stairs feels heavier. Carrying groceries takes more effort than it once did. These changes seem like normal aging, but often they are silent signs of muscle loss. Science confirms this. A study from Tufts University showed that older adults require almost 50% more protein than younger adults to maintain the same muscle mass. And not just more protein, but better quality protein. The body becomes less efficient at using what it is given. That means two eggs in the morning. While healthy may not supply enough usable building blocks for aging muscles, I have spent over 30 years working with older adults, guiding them through nutrition, strength, and independence. Again and again, I see the same pattern. People who believe they are eating right, but who are unknowingly falling short. The good news is, there is a simple way forward. You do not need expensive supplements. You do not need complicated diets. You simply need to know which foods deliver what your body can truly use. Before we continue, I would like to ask you for something simple. If you believe that strength and healing are possible at any age, go ahead and subscribe. Type the word "yes" in the comments and share where you are watching from. Together, we are creating a community of people who refuse to give in to age. And remember, your best chapters are still ahead of you. In today's talk, I will show you 4 humble nuts that quietly outperform eggs for muscle support after 60. They are easy to find, easy to enjoy, and when used consistently, they help rebuild strength in a way that feels almost like turning back the clock. Let us begin with the first. Let us begin with the almonds. The nut you may know best from trail mixes and desserts are in fact one of the most powerful foods for protecting your muscles after 60. When most people think of almonds, they think of a small snack, maybe a handful in a trail mix or sprinkled on top of a dessert. But very few realize that this humble nut is one of the most powerful allies for protecting muscles after 60. In fact, almonds are so nutrient-dense that I often call them the quiet hero of muscle health. Let us look at why. For every 100 grams, almonds contain around 21 grams of protein. That is already impressive for a plant food. But the true strength of almonds lies not only in protein, they are exceptionally rich in magnesium, a mineral most older adults do not get enough of. Magnesium plays a central role in how muscles contract and relax. Without enough of it, even the best protein cannot be used effectively. Instead, you may notice cramps, fatigue, and slower recovery after simple activities. One clinical study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed older adults with varying levels of magnesium intake. Those with higher magnesium levels showed stronger grip strength, better walking speed, and lower markers of inflammation. In plain terms, they were not just healthier on paper, they could move with more confidence. And confidence in movement is what keeps you independent as you age. But that is not all. Almonds are also one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E. This antioxidant works like a shield against inflammation. Every time you move, whether you are gardening, taking a walk, or even just standing up from a chair, your muscles experience tiny microtears. This is normal and necessary for growth, but without protection, those microtears can lead to chronic inflammation, making you sore, stiff, and less likely to move again. Vitamin E helps soothe that process, speeding recovery and keeping you more active day to day. I remember one patient, or retired teacher named Susan, age 68. She told me she was frustrated because she kept waking at night with leg cramps. She was eating what she thought was a healthy diet, including eggs every morning, but the cramps continued. We tested her and found she was low in magnesium. Instead of giving her a pill, I asked her to start with 10 raw almonds each day. Just 10. Within 3 weeks, she came back smiling. She said, "Doctor, I am sleeping better. My legs feel lighter, and I no longer dread the night cramps. It was not a miracle. It was nutrition, working quietly the way nature intended. Now, how can you add almonds to your own routine? The simplest way is to eat them raw. A small handful in the morning, about 10 to 12 almonds, is enough to start. You can also chop them into your oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or sprinkle them over plain Greek yogurt. For those who find chewing difficult, almond butter is an excellent option. Spread a thin layer on whole grain toast, and you get the same nutrients in a softer, easier to digest form. There is one little trick I often recommend. Soak almonds overnight in a glass of water. In the morning, the skin peels off easily, and the nut becomes softer, gentler on digestion, and even slightly sweeter. Many of my older patients find this method the most comfortable, especially if they have sensitive stomachs. Some people worry about calories from nuts. Here is what the science shows. While almonds are calorie-dense, they also increase satiety hormones in the body. That means when you eat a small portion, you feel satisfied longer and naturally eat less of other foods. In fact, studies show that almonds, when eaten daily in moderate amounts, are not linked to weight gain. On the contrary, they often support better weight management by replacing less healthy snacks. So when you think of almonds, do not just think of a garnish. Think of them as muscle support in the palm of your hand, a food that quietly fuels strength, protects your joints, and calms inflammation all at once. And the best part, almonds are only the beginning, because while they provide protein, magnesium, and vitamin E, there are other nuts that bring their own unique gifts. The next one is often thought of as brain food, but as I will show you, it is equally powerful for your muscles. Let us talk about walnuts. Walnuts are often thought of as brain food. Their shape even resembles the human brain, and for decades people have connected them with sharper memory and better thinking. That reputation is well-deserved, but what most people do not realize is that walnuts are also one of the most supportive foods for aging muscles. They work quietly on two fronts that matter deeply after 60, reducing inflammation and improving circulation. First, let us talk about inflammation. As we age, the body tends to fall into a state of low-grade chronic inflammation. It is subtle, often without clear symptoms, but it gradually wears down the joints, stiffens the muscles, and drains energy. Walnuts are uniquely rich in omega-3 fatty acids, a type of fat that calms this process. Just 1 ounce of walnuts provides about 2.5 grams of alpha-linolenic acid, the plant form of omega-3. That is more than any other nut-based study published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2019 showed that older adults who consumed walnuts regularly had lower markers of C-reactive protein, one of the key indicators of inflammation in the body. Lower inflammation does not just mean less stiffness. It means muscles can repair more efficiently, balance improves, and energy lasts longer throughout the day. Second, walnuts improve blood flow. They contain an amino acid called arginine, which helps the body produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes blood vessels, allowing better circulation. Why is this important for seniors? Because circulation delivers oxygen and nutrients to your muscles. Without good blood flow, even if you eat plenty of protein, your muscles cannot fully use it. Strong circulation means faster recovery, less fatigue, and better stamina for everyday activities. I remember one gentleman, Harold, age 73, who came to me complaining that he loved his daily walks but was feeling more and more tired halfway through. He said his legs felt heavy, almost like lead. When we looked at his diet, he was eating enough protein but had very little in the way of healthy fats. I suggested he add a small handful of walnuts to his afternoon routine. Within a month, he came back with a smile. His walks were easier, his legs felt lighter, and he told me he no longer needed to sit halfway. It was a simple change, but the difference in circulation made him feel years younger. How can you add walnuts into your own meals? One easy way is to chop them into oatmeal in the morning. The soft texture blends well with warm grains. You can also use crushed walnuts as a topping for roasted vegetables, adding both crunch and nutrition. Some people enjoy them as a midday snack, but if chewing is difficult, walnut butter is now widely available and spreads smoothly on whole grain toast or crackers. There is also a small but powerful trick. Pair walnuts with foods rich in vitamin C, like berries or citrus. Vitamin C helps protect the delicate omega-3s in walnuts and supports collagen production for joints and skin. A bowl of plain yogurt with walnuts and fresh strawberries is not just delicious, it is a recipe for better muscles, stronger circulation, and sharper memory all in one. Some people worry about the slightly bitter taste of walnuts. In that case, try lightly toasting them in the oven for just 5 to 7 minutes. The heat brings out a warm, nutty flavor and softens the bitterness. Just be careful not to over-roast, as high heat can damage the omega-3s. Walnuts remind us that food does not have to be complicated to be powerful. They offer healthy fats, protein, antioxidants, and circulation support in one small. For older adults, that combination is like giving your muscles both the fuel and the road to use it. And just as walnuts surprise us with benefits beyond the brain, the next nut might surprise you even more. It is small, green, and often seen as just a fun snack at parties. But science now shows it holds one of the rarest qualities in the plant world, being a complete protein. Let us take a closer look at pistachios. Pistachios are often seen as a light snack, something to crack open while watching television, or to serve at family gatherings. Their bright green color and natural shell make them fun to eat, but behind that playful image lies one of the most powerful foods for muscle health. Pistachios are unique among nuts because they are a complete protein. That means they provide all 9 essential amino acids that your body cannot make on its own. For older adults, this is a rare gift. Per ounce, pistachios contain about 6 grams of protein, which is more than many other nuts when compared calorie for calorie. But the real story is quality. A study published in 2020 in the journal Nutrients analyzed roasted pistachios using a gold standard protein scoring system. They achieved a score of 83%, placing them among the highest plant-based proteins, rivaling even eggs. For seniors, this means pistachios can directly support muscle protein synthesis, the process of rebuilding and maintaining lean tissue. Beyond protein, pistachios are rich in potassium and vitamin B6. Potassium helps maintain fluid balance and prevents those nighttime muscle cramps that so many older adults complain about. Vitamin B6 is essential for breaking down protein and turning it into usable fuel for your muscles. Without enough B6, protein can sit in the diet unused, like bricks left at a construction site without a builder. I recall a patient named Robert, 70 years old, who told me he often felt weak in the afternoons. He ate eggs for breakfast and a sandwich for lunch, but by 3 o'clock he would feel like taking a nap. We added a small bowl of pistachios as his afternoon snack. Within 2 weeks, he noticed something remarkable. He said, "Doctor, I do not feel that slump anymore. I feel steady, like my energy lasts longer." The combination of protein, potassium, and B6 helps smooth out his energy curve, giving his muscles a steady supply of nutrients. Another hidden benefit of pistachios is how they encourage mindful eating. Because they come in shells, you naturally slow down, eating one at a time. This prevents overeating and helps you feel satisfied with a modest portion. Research has even shown that people who snack on pistachios in the shell consume fewer calories than those who eat them pre-shelled without feeling less satisfied. That makes pistachios an excellent choice for seniors trying to manage weight without strict diets. For practical use, you can enjoy pistachios in several ways. Keep a small bag of unsalted pistachios in your purse, date car, or kitchen counter. A handful in the afternoon can replace less healthy snacks like chips or cookies. Sprinkle chopped pistachios over salads for extra crunch, or blend them into a pesto sauce with olive oil and herbs. If you have difficulty chewing, pistachio butter is available and spreads easily on toast, offering the same nutrition in a softer. For one small tip I often share is to pair pistachios with fruit. The natural sweetness of apples or pears balances the earthy flavor of the nuts, and the vitamin C from the fruit supports collagen in muscles and connective tissues. This makes the snack both tasty and functional. People sometimes ask me if pistachios are too high in fat. The answer is no, not when eaten in moderation. The fats in pistachios are mostly monounsaturated and polyunsaturated, the kind that support heart health and reduce inflammation. Combined with protein and fiber, pistachios help you feel full and steady, not heavy. Pistachios show us that food can be fun, colorful, and deeply nourishing at the same time. They prove that even a simple snack can be transformed into a tool for independence and vitality. And as impressive as pistachios are, there is one more nut that deserves attention. It is creamy, soft, and often overlooked. Yet it contains minerals that quietly support hormone balance, tissue repair, and immune strength. Let us finish our list with the gentle but powerful cashew. Cashews are often seen as the softer nut, creamy and mild in flavor, sometimes used to make dairy-free sauces or stirred into stir-fries. Because they do not have the crunch of almonds or the bold taste of walnuts, many people underestimate them. Yet cashews are quietly powerful for older adults, especially when it comes to repairing muscle tissue and supporting steady energy. Nutritionally, cashews provide about 5 grams of protein per ounce. While that is slightly less than almonds or pistachios, what makes cashews special is their mineral profile. They are one of the richest sources of zinc among nuts. Zinc is essential for tissue repair, hormone balance, and immune health. For muscles, zinc plays a direct role in protein synthesis, the process by which dietary protein is turned into new muscle fibers. Without enough zinc, the bricks may be there, but the construction crew is missing. A study published in 2018 in the Journal of Gerontology examined zinc intake in older adults. Researchers found that seniors with adequate zinc had better muscle strength and faster recovery from minor injuries compared to those who were deficient. The difference was not small. Zinc-adequate adults had 20% greater leg strength on average, showing that this mineral acts almost like a hidden switch for muscle function. Cashews also provide magnesium and copper, two minerals that work hand in hand for energy production. Magnesium helps with muscle contraction, while copper supports the enzymes that generate energy inside cells. For someone over 60 who may already feel fatigued after simple tasks, this combination can mean the difference between feeling drained or feeling capable of one more walk, one more chore, one more outing with friends. I think of a patient named Elaine, 66 years old, who had always been active but started feeling sore after even light gardening. She told me her muscles seemed to take longer to bounce back. When we reviewed her diet, it was varied but very low in zinc. She did not eat much meat and relied mainly on bread, vegetables, and occasional eggs. I suggested she try adding cashews, just a small handful a few times per week. 6 weeks later, she reported something she had not expected. She said, "Doctor, I still get tired, but my soreness is shorter and I feel stronger when I stand up from bending." It was not dramatic, but it was steady progress. And that is exactly what keeps independence alive. Cashews are also useful for people who struggle with digestion. Their texture is naturally creamy, and when blended, they create a smooth base for sauces or spreads. This makes them easy to consume even for those with dental issues. Cashew butter, for example, can be spread on whole grain toast for a breakfast that delivers protein and zinc without heaviness. You can also soak cashews overnight and blend them into smoothies with fruit and yogurt, creating a nutrient-dense snack that is gentle on the stomach. Another small advantage of cashews is their healthy fat content. While they are not as high in omega-3s as walnuts, they do contain heart-healthy monounsaturated fats that help reduce inflammation overall. Lower inflammation means muscles can repair without constant interference, and joints feel less stiff. This indirect benefit often becomes noticeable after consistent use. Some people worry that cashews are too rich or may cause weight gain. The key is portion control. A small handful, about 1 ounce or 16 to 18 cashews, is enough to provide the minerals and protein your muscles need without overwhelming calories. Because cashews are satisfying, they can actually help prevent overeating of less healthy foods. To get the most out of cashews, pair them with vitamin C, rich foods like bell peppers, tomatoes, or citrus fruits. Vitamin C enhances collagen formation, which supports not only skin, but also tendons and ligaments. Strong connective tissue means stronger support for your muscles, lowering the risk of injury. Cashews may not shout for attention the way other nuts do, but their quiet profile hides powerful support for aging muscles. They bring zinc for repair, magnesium and copper for energy, and healthy fats for balance. For someone over 60, that combination makes cashews less of a snack and more of a partner in daily strength. And with that, we complete the circle of four: almonds for magnesium and vitamin E, walnuts for omega-3s and circulation, pistachios for complete protein and potassium, and cashews for zinc and recovery. Together, these nuts form a simple toolkit for protecting your muscles well into your later years. Now, at this point, you may be thinking, Doctor, this all sounds good, but what about the concerns I keep hearing about nuts? Let us take them one at a time. The first concern is weight gain. Many seniors tell me, nuts are so high in calories, won't they make me put on pounds I cannot afford to carry? This is a fair question, but the science gives a very different answer. Multiple large reviews, including one in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, show that people who eat nuts regularly do not gain extra weight. Nuts increase satiety, they reduce cravings, and in fact, not all of their calories are absorbed. In simple terms, a handful of nuts fuels you very differently than a handful of cookies or chips. They give you nutrition without the roller coaster of sugar and empty calories. The second concern is blood sugar, especially for people with diabetes. Nuts, when eaten in moderation, actually help stabilize blood sugar. Their combination of protein, fiber, and healthy fats slows the release of glucose into the bloodstream. Walnuts, for example, have been shown to improve insulin sensitivity. Pistachios help lower post-meal glucose spikes. Cashews provide magnesium, which is directly linked to better blood sugar control. So instead of being harmful, nuts are one of the best snack choices for seniors managing diabetes. Another question I hear is about digestion. Some older adults say, Doctor, I feel that nuts are hard on my stomach. This can be true if they are eaten too quickly, not chewed well, or eaten in very large amounts. The solution is preparation and moderation. Soak almonds overnight. Choose nut butters if chewing is difficult. Start with small portions. Most of my patients discover that once they make these adjustments, nuts are not only tolerable but soothing because of the fiber and healthy fats they bring. One more common question: do I have to give up eggs altogether? The answer is no. Eggs are still a valuable food, rich in nutrients like choline and vitamin D. The point is not to throw them out, but to recognize that after 60, your protein needs are higher and your body requires more diversity. Eggs alone are not enough. By adding nuts alongside eggs or other proteins, you fill the gaps and give your muscles the complete support they need. It is not about replacement. It is about balance and upgrading your daily nutrition. And finally, some worry about cost. Nuts can seem expensive compared to a carton of eggs, but when you think about their shelf life, portability, and the wide range of nutrients they deliver, they are a remarkably efficient investment. A small bag of almonds or walnuts can last a week. Buying in bulk or choosing store brands often brings the price down. And when you consider the health value, the strength, independence, and lower medical costs that come with staying active, nuts are not expensive, they are cost-saving. The truth is, the barriers people fear are often smaller than they seem. With the right knowledge and small adjustments, nuts become one of the simplest and most effective tools for protecting muscle, energy, and independence well into your later years. So let us step back and see the whole picture. For decades, eggs have been seen as the gold standard of protein, and they are good food. But after 60, your body changes. Your muscles resist protein more. Inflammation rises quietly, circulation slows. What once worked is no longer enough. That is why these four nuts matter so much. Almonds bring magnesium and vitamin E to protect your muscles from cramps and inflammation. Walnuts bring omega-3s and arginine to keep blood flowing and joints flexible. Pistachios deliver complete protein and potassium, fueling strength with balance. Cashews bring zinc, magnesium, and copper, turning nutrition into repair and recovery. Together, they do more than just feed you. They keep you walking with confidence. They keep you standing tall. They keep you independent in the moments that matter most. And remember this, you do not need pills, powders, or expensive diets. You do not need to change your whole life. What you need is a handful of the right foods day after day, giving your body what it quietly asks for. That is the path to strength after 60. So here is my question for you. Which nut surprised you the most today? Was it the pistachio with its complete protein, the walnut with its omega-3s, the cashew with its zinc, or the almond with its quiet but powerful magnesium? Tell me in the comments. Share your age and where you are watching from. And if this message spoke to you, I invite you to subscribe. Every time I share practical, science-based ways to stay strong, independent, and full of life, no matter your age, because your story is not finished. The best chapters may still be waiting.